everybody. This is Patty. Welcome to the witching hour. Yes, the hour of the day when the veil is thin and magic happens. We've got some beautiful magic for you today. She is a paranormal investigator. She is an intuitive medium, and she is an event producer of the New Orleans Paracon coming this weekend. Of you can see us there. Jennifer Talley. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Jennifer.
Well, Patty, thank you for having me. We're super excited about you and everything coming up this weekend.
I am so excited about it. You brought in a great group of people. You're doing it different than a lot of Paracons. It's going to be so great. So there's still time. I know some stuff is sold out, but there's some stuff still availabilities. You guys anywhere near the New Orleans, or you can get to New Orleans. You have days to do it. It's this weekend. Check out New Orleans Paracon. So anyway, so I know that you are gifted and you don't do readings, but you are gifted. So, but where did your paranormal journey come from? You work with your husband, Chris,
Yeah.
and you have the Paranormal Society, right? You together are producing this beautiful Paracon this weekend. How did you fall into this crazy, weird paranormal world of ours?
Um, Honestly, for it was comes out of a birthday present from a friend of ours. Back in 2018, I'd watched the shows, saw you on the shows. I'd watched the shows for years, Paranormal State, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, all the things. And I just like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And Chris didn't believe in any of it. Not one thing. Oh, those shows are staged. They're stupid. There's no such thing, blah, blah, blah. And by the time we left, and we're investigating at the Paracon, the Voodoo house, he left that hour going, huh, because of what happened to me. I had finger marks, red marks from fingers on my shoulders and things that we heard over spirit box. It just kind of threw us into this. And then over the pandemic, everything in the French Quarter was closed and we had started buying some equipment and as of now, we've lived in the Quarter for 15 years. I mean, we know our neighbors. And they started saying, hey, if you guys are bored, hotel's closed. Come on, let's see what's in it. And we just started to get to go into places. And then here, the Paranormal Society's public hunts were born. Um, and you learn every day. And it was meeting people, discovering I was gifted, which I didn't know at the time, struggling to find a mentor. If you can believe that, in the French Quarter in New Orleans, it took me three years, Patty, to find someone who would help me figure out what it was.
Wow.
And the answer is all of it so far. There wasn't anything that I haven't been able to do that we've tried. And it's coming with animals now, living and dead, and it's coming with living people and crazy stuff. And then we did Graveyard Fest 2024 with Dale and Spratt, who I just adore. He's so nice. And between that and seeing the people on the tours saying, I struggle, I don't know where to go. I think I have abilities, or sometimes you can see someone and know they do. To just understand there's no outlet. Where do you go? If I can't find somebody, how are
Middle
they,
of New Orleans, yeah.
how are they finding this? And it just kind of thought, well, we're going to figure this out. And that's where the Paracon idea was born. Like, okay, we're going to do it, but we want to do it and give people the opportunity for ethical education, whether it be in ghost hunting techniques or psychic development or learning about different spiritual practices like vampires and witches and voodoo and Native American. So we all have a better understanding of each other. And even when we go into these spaces as investigators, you don't know what you're going to come up against or with or see or discover. We did a private investigation for a friend who owns the house that sits where Marie Laveau's house used to sit. It's a shotgun double. He couldn't rent it out for 8 months. Finally said, guys, I need your help. Really not a fan of the whole paranormal, but he knew we were the only ones to help. He said, people walk in and walk out, go, no. And the first night I did not go, but they called me from the investigation. I was emotionally not okay to go. And for safety reasons, for anyone listening, don't ever, if you are not in a good emotional state, do not put yourself out there for stuff like this.
Nope.
Ever.
Stay
So
home.
they called me and said, "What are you getting stuff?" And I said, I sat there for a second and Chris did. And I told Chris, I said, "Yeah." I said, "Go out in the back." And I said, go to the right-hand side. It's two apartments. Go all the way in the back, go down the steps, turn slightly to the right, stop there. I said, something happened there. I said, someone was killed there. And they came and he hung up and there was another girl there that's a medium. And came home and told me she said the same thing. She walked to the exact same spot that you said. And I said, there's also someone who was a serial killer. I don't know his name. I know it's early. I know he would sneak in like somehow under the door or like a escape hatch or whatever. And he'd murder these women, assault them, and he'd sit there and eat like he was eating out of their fridge or listening to like he was hanging out. And then they were getting some hits off one of our grids that were low to the floor. And the other medium there who's not from here, they came home and said, "There's imps here, there's imps here." And something is like, that doesn't sound right. And so what we decided was when I went back the next day, we had a friend of mine who does practice voodoo on the phone. And I said, they're starting again. And my friend said, "Tell your friend to stop calling them imps. They're not, they're water loa from voodoo. They were used for healing that Marie would have used." Now, if I don't practice, so there's no way I would know that. There's no way she would know that. But to say they were imps and what they were the polar opposite. Like they're polar opposites. So she felt so bad. We did a ceremony and back to apologize. And the energy in the house just lifted.
Yeah.
And you could hear them. They started to chirp. We were playing shamanic throat singing for them, and you could hear them chirping.
Oh, that's
Yes.
beautiful. Yeah, you've really got to be in this business, you've really got to study different philosophies, sciences, occult science, and metaphysics and
Mhm.
spirituality. No, you're not that you're going to be an expert in voodoo or expert in this or Egyptian or this, but you've got to have some knowledge. That's actually why I started my school, or Sebastian and I started our school to give different perspectives and knowledge. So it's great you do that. It's great you're doing that for the Paracon. Like we've
It's
got a guy in Italy teaching Italian strega magic, a guy in
oh,
Brazil
wow.
teaching Brazilian work. We have people here, teaching everything. And it's the more we know, the better it is how to deal with it.
I
Because
mean, if you don't know it all, the best thing to know is know what you don't know.
yes, very well put.
Go in there and say, okay, what's the history? Do your research about the area, the land, the occupants, everything, and say, okay, there could be X, Y, or Z here. I'm going to have to bring in some experts before I get in the position that other girl did. Were insulting because the repercussions for her insults for one night could, depending upon what else it could have been pretty severe.
Yeah.
You mess with Native American stuff. Uh-uh.
Mhm. You can't. No. And anytime that I've ever got in trouble or either investigation or a seance or whatever, it's when somebody got disrespectful. That is
Mhm.
disrespect, whether
Yeah.
you're trying to be disrespectful or not, calling it an imp when it's a Loa. And of course, Loa makes sense. Again, but not that I'm the expert on voodoo or hoodoo, but yes, the Loa in New Orleans and the river
Yeah.
and the water and the makes perfect sense. The first thing when I first went to New Orleans for the first time, it was Sebastian. We were doing the vampire ball years and years ago. We had just first met. The first thing he said I had to do before I went anywhere in New Orleans, and we went down to the river and to introduce myself to the river, say hello, ask permission to be there and to take in the city. And it's changed. It made we always have a great relationship with it. So
It has a soul of its own, a heartbeat, it really does. Another space for people coming to go to is Congo Square in Armstrong Park. There's, a very old live oak there that it's
mhm.
traditionally used for ceremony, and Congo Square was used for ceremony as well, for voodoo ceremonies on Sundays. And so it's a very sacred space here, and so that's some place that I'll go to every once in a while. If there's issues, or I'll do double offerings, whatever I put on my ancestral, I'll bring there, to tie that in, to keep that relationship going. Because boy, if the city doesn't like you, she will chew you up and spit you
Yes.
out.
Yes, I agree. Well, I'm thinking the city's liking you guys.
Yeah,
Again, you're bringing the magic. You're showing the magic of what it is.
yeah.
So tell everybody what again, what we're gonna do this weekend. What do they have in store? If anybody can join us.
So we do have some general admission. We call them day and weekend passes. We've just added a child pass as well. Still have to have an adult. So the day passes are 25, weekend 40, kids are $10. And those get you into the Paracon and give you all the free workshops. So that's where you can sit and learn about voodoos and vampires and Native Americans. I'm going to be teaching a class on paranormal investigative techniques for spaces that are like where you can rent out and go ghost hunting, right? Bill Slevin's going to be teaching a class on residential, completely different techniques. And it's good for people to learn about that. John Zaffis is going to be in one of the workshops. We just love him.
We love him. We love Johnny. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
he's so great. So, and then you have the option for paid classes, your practical daily magic and moon magic. I think you've got two more. Um,
I think I'm doing doll craft. Are I doing haunted dolls or doll craft? I think. Or am I not? Maybe not.
uh, I'll have to look. I don't even know. There's so
I have
many.
to look too. I'm really my little brain one day at a time.
It is. I mean, girl, I know it
And I
is. And you've got your Patti Negri experience, which is sold out. So we've got psychic development and practical daily magic. And then we have moon magic and with you. And we have another psychic development on Sunday. So we're doing that twice, which I think is
okay.
going to be really good for people here. But those are all on our websites, and classes can be added on. We have evening events, ghost hunts, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We do still have room on Friday in the Voodoo House. I think the hotel buyer is sold out. We've added a second bus to do the cemetery and city park hunt. Um, Saturday, I think it's the same, and Sunday we'll have the Voodoo House and another bus. So we have plenty of space left for people to go ghost hunting and do something different every day and every night, and learn, and pay attention to, if you do more than one, pay attention to the differences in the spaces, because they're going to
Yes.
be completely different.
Completely different. Completely. And we all should be aware of the space of the land below us, whether you live in New York City or New Orleans or LA or the country or this. People show up and aren't aware it, and every place feels so magically different. And again, you're sitting there in one of the most magical, charged places ever. So I can't wait. And you've brought amazing people together. Those people you were noticing already. Again, my bestie, Father Sebastian, and myself, and Sam Baltrusis, one of my fave people to work
He's
with,
great.
Johnny, and um, just on and on and on. You guys, this is a really a rare opportunity to get all these great people together in a super magical place. So kudos. Thank you, Jennifer, for doing this. I know how hard it is. I've never produced a paranormal convention, but my husband and I for 20 years produced a drum convention because he's a drummer. And I know that you're probably going crazy right now.
I have I have lists that have lists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. So thank
And
you for coming on this. I just thought it was so perfect. Anybody last minute to do what we're doing this weekend, it's such a great opportunity. I needed to have you on the show.
thank you.
Um, so again, so that's interesting. I love that you're a husband and wife that does this together, both the investigation itself, the society, and now you're doing the con together. How is that? I mean, my husband and I are very separate worlds in that. He's never gone on a paranormal investigation with me. How is that? Is that easy? Is that hard?
It's no, it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie. It's not. But we've had other businesses together. Um, so we kind of know where we're gonna annoy each other, where we're gonna argue, and where we're gonna get along, and how to separate things um to get it done. But we come from hospitality and events. in the city. I was a restaurant manager here. We had
Mhm.
restaurants. I did as a GM here at Luke in the Hilton on St. Charles. We had all of their banquet and event food and beverage as well. So we dealt with the hotel and putting on those events. So it's something that it's not the same, but it's similar. Um, so we both kind of said, "All right, we've run hotels as for banks before, so we just kind of took all of that and said paranormal. Let's see what's this, what is same, what is different." So it's definitely been a learning curve, and every day we find out what we didn't know the day before.
I do too. I don't think that will ever end as long as we're on this living plane for all of us, especially all of us curious ones. All
Yeah.
of us who want to know what the unknown is. I don't think that will ever change.
And Chris and I are kind of the polar opposite of, well, personality even. I'm the quiet, shy one. Um, Even paranormal investigating, he's a lot more aggressive than I am. I'm very not. I'm the mama bear, I want everyone to have a hug. Um, and so it's interesting how we just see which approach works better. He gets a little bit more persistent in asking questions, and I just kind of move on and feel. So it's I guess it complements too. But we have 2 other people that do our ghost hunts with us too, and they don't approach the same either. It's
No.
everyone's got their own style. We compare notes. Even when we all go to the same locations, there are there are spirits that come forward for them that I've never heard of,
Yep.
and vice versa.
Again, I've been doing this even longer than you have, and I know you've done, like, more than 800 investigations, but it is always different. 'Cause,
Mhm.
it's like, say we go to a party, we're not all gonna talk to the same people. Like,
Nope.
somebody I'm attracted to talk to, they look interesting over there, the person by
Yep.
the piano or this or that, we're all gonna get different stuff.
Yep. And
So,
then
like
go ahead.
what
What do we bring with us too
yes, what
every
are
time we
do they wanna talk to us? Again, there's the stronger people and there's the huggier people, I'm like that. I like I like the teams versus the olden days when it was all tech drug. They had to have a psychic or a medium on this, like, was but now this is the norm, people want it. So,
Mhm.
how do you combine your mediumship with electronic equipment, all the meters that we have? Do they influence each other? I just look at them as confirmation, what I do, but
Yeah.
how do you work with that? Do you give them your impressions first, or do you wait to see how things happen?
I wait, for me, some of the equipment is a trigger. There might be the other night, I came in we had a group going in one of our locations, and I came in the room, and they had one of our devices, and it said family and something else, and it just hit me, that triggered, and
Mm.
I said, "Who's" I heard grandfather. I said, "Whose grandfather passed?" And these 2 ladies who almost didn't make it that night. They booked last minute, couldn't find us, all these things. They showed up late. They got there though, and they just turned and looked at me and they said, "We did." And I said, "It just happened, didn't it?" And she said, "Yeah, in June." And I said, "He's weathered. Like his face is weathered. He worked outside." And she said, "Yeah." She said he was a concrete worker. He poured concrete. And I said, "Well, he is here to talk to you guys." And so they took that opportunity to kind of ask him a few questions. So for me, a lot of times the equipment is gives me a word. It helps me focus. Does that make sense?
Yeah, completely.
Some people I think use tarot
Yeah.
as information and focus. Sometimes is the equipment, I'll hear a word and I'll just turn my head and say, you, and I'll start hearing or seeing or tasting or smelling. The food is usually what I get. So it was weird with that gentleman. I didn't get any food information, which is what I usually ask them for is food confirmation because names are so hard.
Names are hard. I like that food. I have a lot of clairgustance, what the psychic taste, psychic
Me
smell,
too.
psychic hear. But and once in a while it'll be grandma's lasagna taste, but I've never said, "Give me your favorite food." I love that. I often, again, with that taste of sense, I can often tell how somebody died or illness or the
Yeah.
taste of blood. That's a common one that we get.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the physical medium too, I've asked them, I don't need to feel the heart attack the whole way. We could
Right.
just, we need to work on the intensity, folks. You know, it doesn't
Right.
need to cripple me. So I try to work on that with them. Unless it's so significant to identifying them or validating who they are. I think the food memories, because I feel like they could make me see it, smell it, or taste it. So they get three to work with, because you never know what they're able to project and manipulate either.
Right.
So I feel like, and it's very specific, about canning or, oh, the gentleman he showed me a sugar cookie and then a peanut butter cookie, and then he showed him like chewing on this cookie and it's like spitting out of his mouth. I thought, were your teeth not in? Like, what's the significance? And it was the great uncle of this lady, and she said, "Oh, it's a running joke in our family. His wife forgot to put the sugar in his peanut butter cookies one time."
Oh, that's so
It
cute.
was the whole running joke. I'm like, "Okay." But I didn't know what any of that meant. I was just saying what I was seeing. And so it was interesting, because how would I know that?
Right. That's a good medium. You're a good medium because it's what we can't understand. If we try to understand something, then we're throwing into our left brain logic and that's going to shut it down. Just say, there's a giraffe in the room. I don't know why, or I'm seeing him spit out the cookies.
Yeah.
That's how I would teach you to do it if I was teaching you. So you've got it, girl.
We're just
Wow.
gotta work on that on switch.
Yeah,
And off.
on, on, off. Then you get fancy with the on and off. Then you do have a dimmer, like a little bit on, a little bit off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to go to the store. Do you have working with equipment or whether you're using or somebody else, do you have a favorite kind of equipment that you like to work with?
I love our full spectrum SLS camera. You too.
That's
Well,
my favorite is an SLS camera.
and especially with the public hunts, it really makes it real for people. And we do so much in mine positive. Like, I'm playing games. Nothing to me. There's no rule out there, Patty, that says you can't laugh on a ghost hunt.
No, you should laugh at a ghost hunt.
Good. You should, because it raises your vibrations. You attract the higher vibration beings. You don't want those low ones. You don't want the lower vibration around you. And you give the people who have passed, I feel like you give them the gift of doing something they did when they were alive, playing music, playing a game, telling them a joke, and dancing. Oh, we see them dance. I mean, dead people love Michael Jackson. They just love him. They do moonwalks and break dancing, and you're seeing it on the SLS, and that is where everyone just kinda, it's so easy. It just draws them.
Yeah.
Spirit boxes are hard for people.
Yes. Can get a listening hard and that noise drives me crazy. I can't use a spirit box like at a seance or a gallery. It's too loud. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, SLS is my favorite because like say I'm just doing a seance or I'm on investigation. And literally, okay, I will see in my head there's a guy doing jumping jacks and kicking their right foot. I will say that. You believe me or you don't believe me, fine. But now there's somebody in another room who can't see or hear me. And there's a little green stick figure doing jumping jacks and kicking their right foot. And I'm like, yes, it's that confirmation. And
It
to
is.
me, SLS camera has the best confirmation because it's tangible, it's physical. They're going like this. They're playing that game with you.
Yeah.
I was once uh, at a haunted theater in Ventura, Stefan Brigatti. It's a beautiful old 1930s, one of those old movie palaces. But I was feeling it looked like great pain, touching this little boy spirit. And the SLS camera had our fingers going like this. And I had never seen red laser beam, but there was red laser beam connecting our two fingers
Oh,
on the
wow.
SLS. I don't even know how SLS cameras do that. But that's the way I see energy and I see chords. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. We have another, the Andrew Jackson, that's our hotel buyout. One of the spirits there, our belief is he might be an ascended master.
Mm.
And we actually brought some evidence to the chief exorcist here of what we think is an angelic energy that works with him. That he's now responsible for children who passed young, babies, miscarriages, young children below the age of reason. And we've also on the SLS camera seen him reach out and touch people, and the color on their arm on the SLS changes. And more often than not, where he's touching you, you have been having pain and he's trying to
Wow.
heal. And we've asked, Chris has asked people for some reason, do you have problems with your elbow? And that one of the people on the tour said, yeah, it's hurt since I got here. He said, well, you're being touched there. I think he's trying to heal you.
Isn't that's amazing? I have not experienced that. I would love that.
It's so cool that we have it. I mean, there's a vampiric energy there too that is not a nice one. He does not like me, but that's okay. You can't like everyone. But so it's an interesting mix of with the locations, just different why just the different energies that you're probably going to be able to experience at the locations. Um, it's not all light, it's not all dark, it's somewhere in the middle sometimes. It's all over, but we're still on the fence if this energy is an ascended master. But since we've started to ask the energy, the spirit about that, it's been a little bit more confirming with him. He's when we've asked him about other scenarios, we thought he would get very angry. And then when we got to this, it stopped. And we got to see more. And we got to see more of when someone is sitting in the chair in the closet, master shows up, and this little child energy shows up that 36 out of 36 times that person sitting in the chair lost a child.
Wow, that's amazing.
And
That
that's crazy. I mean, and people are like, "How do you know?" I said, I don't know how this circumstances of events on our SLS camera have come up, but for some reason we knew to ask, "Did you lose a child?" And the answer's always been yes.
that's amazing. I would definitely like to meet that spirit. I
Yeah.
mean, I use the word higher vibrations, lower like you do, and I certainly met very high vibration, but I don't know that I've met going into like a healer or ascended master or angelic presence. That's pretty awesome. That is
I'm
pretty awesome. Sorry, my cat is driving me crazy right now.
oh, it's
This is Gracie.
hi,
Gracie, we're
hi,
supposed to know.
Gracie.
Gracie, gotta go away. There you go. There you go.
Center of
Don't bite me.
attention. Center
Yes.
of attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
She yes, when she wants it, but she's very she was like a little should have died rescue that she will as much as she will kiss you in one hand and slash you with the other paw, all at the same time. She is crazy Gracie. We love her madly, but it's like, "Don't no blood, no blood today. We have an event this weekend, no blood."
That was funny.
So what we can do again, you live in such a storied place that the history, the voodoo history, the witchy history, the vampiric history. Does that have you? I'm sure you travel and do investigations other places. Does New Orleans really feel different to you?
Yes, 100%. When I leave the area and get out of my car, get off a plane, I feel physically lighter. It is intense and heavy here, especially in the French Quarter, and then it's even more intense in the French Quarter, and then have abilities. Let's add a little couple more pounds when you they can see the light around you. So it's all of that rolled into one, and it's very intense. So definitely people coming here, please prepare yourself, shield, whatever you need to do. Get something from a local shop to cleanse and clear because it's just I just believe that even if you get X thing, well, they have X thing in where I live. Sometimes when someone local makes something that's supposed to be the same, there's a little great grandma's aunt, sister's cousin trick that's in there that will make the difference, that will grab the attention of the spirits in the space in the area to go, oh, okay, yeah, no, not going near that person, or okay, we're gonna leave them alone. I don't know. I feel like you just should always embrace the magic of where you are and sometimes use that to clear and protect yourself because they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
So
I agree wholeheartedly. Um, Just like, yeah, allergens of where you live. You eat the honey from where you live. You're
Yep.
right. It really makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So let's go back to this weekend. Again, I'm packing. What are you hoping that people can really experience or get out of coming this weekend, whether they do one event or many events?
I really want them to walk away feeling like they learned something and feeling like if they were lost, they have a direction and they have an outlet for what they need, whatever
Yeah,
that looks like to them.
I love that because that you're right. That is what's needed. So again, now that we're down to the wire going there, has there been a greatest surprise of what you've discovered producing this event? Or like you said earlier, is it different every day?
It's a lot of, "Oh, I didn't think about that." I mean, we're never gonna think of everything.
No.
Honestly, I'm still working on getting this year done, but I'm also saying, "Okay, next year, dot, dot, dot." I'm already there, like, "We're gonna do this, we're not gonna do this." So we're already thinking ahead, but we're still concentrating on the now too, because we wanna make sure it's a great event. I want people to have fun, throw some beads, stop thinking of New Orleans and your view of New Orleans from Hollywood. This stuff you're gonna learn at this con, especially involving vampires and voodoo, you're gonna sit back and say, "Wow, were they wrong? Wow, was that misportrayed?" It's voodoo is beautiful. It's beautiful. There is no negative in voodoo. I don't care what you saw on TV. There is no such thing.
Right.
Father Sebastian, I may be sitting there. Angel Morgan, who's one of our speakers, she's going to be doing a free workshop on pet communication
Cool.
and finding your spirit animal. I think both of us are going to sit in the back of his class too, because we want to hear more about vampire practices. I mean, I've got friends that are vampires. I have friends, Papa Czar, he's sanguine vampire, so he drinks blood. And I have another friend, I don't know if she's out in California. I don't know if she might. I don't know if she does. Another friend who's gonna be at the con is psychic vampire. So, I wanna learn more about that.
Right. And everybody's going to think, oh, psychic vampire. You think of that person that has not, oh, they drain your energy, but it is different. That's how I was. Sebastian really is my best friend for 8, 9 years now. We met on
Mhm.
Ghost Adventures. He was passed out on the floor from Bela Lugosi's
Oh
mirror,
gosh.
and we just became fast friends. And I remember, because I'm a witch. I claim witch, and Hollywood ruins witchcraft too, though it's getting
Yes, we
better.
do.
But I remember he offered to fang me. I'm like, well, you're cute and all that, but I'm married. But no, I don't like vampires. I don't. I why do you fang me? So I started reading his books, like the Black Veils books, and I'm like, oh my god, this is beautiful magic, real
Yeah,
magic.
yeah.
It's the same as witchcraft, only slightly different. It's dressed differently. What I always say in my witchy, it's very elemental ceremonial witchcraft with a vampire coding. I always say the difference is in my witch world, because I'm a saber-tooth vampire, non-sanguinary, and I don't drink blood, and a witch. In my witchy world, like cloaks are either made out of organic cotton or Stevie Nicks black lace.
Oh
In
god,
my vampire world, it's black velvet with a red satin lining. Because other than that, it's almost the same. We
yeah,
call corners. We work do beautiful magical rituals. So yeah,
yeah.
people are gonna get again, that's why Sebastian and I started the school too. So you guys doing it where we could be live is such a rare, beautiful thing.
And then
You know?
follow up with the schools.
Yeah.
Follow up, get an outlet, find out how to take classes. That's it. I think people don't know. You look on the internet, well, who's for real? Who is gonna really teach me something? Who's gonna take my money? You don't know. And now you're in front of people where you go, okay, now I have an outlet. And then they have the opportunity to walk around and feel who feels right to them, right? My first mentor was only meant to be with me for a year. And I could feel the disconnect after that time, and it was no disrespect to that person. He's still a dear friend. I just knew that my path with him was done, and I'm to go somewhere else. I'm to go a different direction now. And I think that's common. I think you do,
Very,
you know, you so
yeah.
journey, you do find that you're supposed to learn X from this person, yeah, you do.
It's a windy path. You
Yeah.
you don't need to be on the interstate, did it one path, because then you've got very narrow thinking, and magic is like this. So I've had
Mhm.
many teachers and mentors, and again, going here and going there and going left and going right and seeing what's what. That's what makes us well-rounded. That's what makes us good. So I am so excited for this weekend. So if anybody wants to know more, where they can find out, um, I get, well, let's say, even before we go there, about the Paranormal Society itself.
Mhm. We do public ghost hunts in the French Quarter 6 nights a week. That's how we rack up how many hunts we've done between that and private investigations. That's how we do it. We the spirits and the dead get Tuesdays off from all of us. They get off a day off from us, we get a day off from them. But that's New Orleans Paranormal Society.com. We'll do private groups, public hunts. We take it to 2 different spaces in the quarter. We're very hands-on, 12 to 13 people. We do an explanation of the equipment, why we think it works, debunking the equipment, history of the space. It is a teaching uh, public hunt. It isn't just let you go free and do what you do. Um, because most people that come on have never done it before. And we bring all our equipment for you to use. So that's on that website. And then for the Paracon tickets, it's neworleansparacon.com. We encourage you to buy advance tickets, but we will have the ability for people to buy day passes and weekend passes when they get there. They'll have, if there's space left in classes, they'll be able to register for those. And if there's space left in the ghost hunts, they'll be registered for those. So all the tickets, if you have a pass, then you should be able to add on any class or any ghost hunt that you want that still has availability. So we open that up. The room block is closed. There are rooms probably at the hotel. It's just not at the rate that the group had. Those were sold out already. So, but there are probably some rooms still at the hotel, which I think is still a pretty good rate anyway for the area. Then you don't have to go anywhere.
Right.
You
And
just
let everybody know where it is. I know they have to go to NewOrleansParacon.com, but where are we staying? Where is?
staying at the Astor Crowne Plaza on the corner of Canal and Bourbon Street. So you are in the French Quarter. There's plenty of restaurants around. There's one in the hotel called Bourbon House if you want to grab a snack. There's Crystal Taverns. Anyone who knows Crystal Burgers, only in the New Orleans would we have Crystal Tavern because they have daiquiris. And Redfish Grill, and there's a whole bunch of you're close to everything. And then there is this has not been sent out to anyone, but it will be. Anybody that shows their badge or their wristband from the Paracon will get $10 off per ticket at the Storyville Museum here in New Orleans. It's not even 2 years old. It's a museum dedicated to our legal red light district and alcohol and gambling and all the debauchery that took place in the
And so,
city. Our friend Klaus developed it. He's got some great exhibits there. So that can be done in and around the Paracon to go there and see his really cool things.
thank you for that. You guys, everybody interested, this sounds great. Join us in New Orleans this weekend. You can. You get Jennifer, you get me, you got Sebastian, you got Voodoo, you got Hoodoo, you got Johnny Zappas, you got somebody. You get it all. It's like Christmas in July.
Christmas in New Orleans.
Christmas in New Orleans. Um, oh, Jennifer, I can't thank you enough. So is that the best way for people to get a hold of you? Is either the New Orleans Paranormal Society and slash or New Orleans Paracon? Is that the best way for them to find all of you?
Yep. And don't be afraid to text us. The phone number on the site, 504-321-3366. You can call or text if you have any questions. If you say, well, I can't find it, I want to do this. Listen, Chris and I, we are going to accommodate you any way we can. If we can do it, we're going to do it. So don't feel bad about texting or asking questions.
Thank you for that. I'm so excited. I'm going to see you practically minutes from now.
I
I'll see you
know.
this weekend. So thank you, and thank you for bringing your magic to the witching hour.
Thank you.